How to build a Blackgates Sweet Pea 5-inch gauge locomotive, part 46. Modifying the design of the second piston rod gland. This one is different to the other side and previously has been repaired by someone plugging holes in the cylinder cover casting. Whoever built this engine didn't follow the drawing to the letter. The crosshead, for instance, is of an entirely different construction to what is shown on the plans. But the construction is good enough in this case to be serviceable and should work okay. In this clip I'm unscrewing one of the crossheads from the piston rod. There is of course one at each side of the engine. This engine is never going to be perfect, but by the time I've finished with it, with a bit of luck, it should run very well indeed. It's time now to remove the rear cylinder cover. I just need to remove the bolts that hold it in place onto the main cylinder casting. Then I can withdraw the casting from the cylinder, complete with the piston. In a previous episode, I used a device called a cylinder hone because the piston bores were tapered slightly to the rear. I fitted silicone rubber piston rings because the grooves are cut for these. I tried cast iron piston rings, but they were a rattle fit in the grooves. I pushed the piston into the cylinder just for safekeeping. I need to work on the cylinder cover. And here it is in all of its incompetent glory. It looks like the original gland fixing holes were drilled in entirely the wrong place. These holes have been threaded and plugged, which is, I suppose, perfectly acceptable. I've done it many times. The problem is the recess in the centre, which takes the O-ring, is too big. It should be 3/8 of an inch in diameter, but it isn't, it's larger than that. It's not important though, because I'm not going to use this gland system. I don't like the idea of a single O-ring, because when it wears, you have to dismantle quite a lot of the engine to replace it. As both of the cylinder covers have been made differently, I thought I would show the work on this side too. I used the Myford ML7R for this because the chuck jaws are square cut. On my other lathes, the edges of the jaws have all got a bit of a chamfer, which wouldn't allow me to hold it by the register to do what you see me doing here. I could have drilled this hole 3/8 of an inch, but I used a milling cutter. The noise you can hear is caused by the lathe actually running too fast. It's not a good idea in the home workshop to machine cast iron at a high speed. I effectively bored this 3/8 of an inch diameter hole 1/2 an inch down into the casting. I don't really understand, nor do I like, the design of the glands on Sweet Pea locomotives. And I always presumed that these glands on a Sweet Pea locomotive were to compress the O-ring, but they're not, they're just to hold it in place. So the part that I'm machining needs to be taken down to 3/8 of an inch to fit in the hole. When I look at the drawing, it tells me that this part should be 7/16 of an inch in diameter, and it sits on the front face of the casting. It doesn't compress the O-ring. In my humble opinion, this is a very strange arrangement. If it looked good, I wouldn't mind, but I never did like the way glands were arranged on a Sweet Pea. And besides, if you use a single O-ring as a piston rod gland, it's going to wear out eventually, and when it does and needs replacing, there's quite a lot of things to remove to replace the O-ring. I've modified the design to use Teflon coated yarn, and to replace that is simple. All you have to do to change the yarn is just remove the 3 stainless steel screws that hold the gland cover in place, pull out the old length of worn Teflon coated yarn and replace it with some new. A very quick and simple job. This part of the job is optional. I'm countersinking the inside part of the gland cover that presses down on the gland material. The theory being, when you tighten the gland cover, the Teflon coated yarn that's in the countersunk part is pushed towards the piston rod. I've seen this many times on Stuart engines. Here I'm using some Scotch-Brite to clean up the outer part of the gland cover, and now, although I don't recommend doing this by hand as I'm showing here, I'm lightly countersinking the oversized holes in the gland cover. I'm not holding the gland rigid because, to be honest, not a lot of these holes are fully round. They've been needle filed. This is a good way of doing it. You can see exactly what you're doing as you do it. Just as I showed in a previous episode, on the other side, I used a length of Teflon coated yarn, wrapped it around the piston rod in one length and pushed it in place into the gland. It's a bit of a fiddly job, but once you've done it a few times, it's easy. All I have to do now, using 3 stainless steel countersunk bolts, is hold the gland cover in position. I decided to use countersunk bolts because the distance between the crosshead and this gland flange is not a lot. And stainless steel is a bit stronger than brass, so everything should work out okay. All I have to do now is the opposite of disassembly, which is reassembly. The gasket material is in place. All I need to do now is carefully push the piston into the cylinder, align the holes, and refit the 4BA hexagon bolts that hold the cylinder cover to the cylinder block. A word of caution, get into the habit of not over-tightening bolts. To shear a bolt off at this stage would cause a lot more work because the cylinder would have to be removed. Thanks to the facilities of video editing, I refitted the crosshead very quickly. This clip is running at 400%. This crosshead is steel against steel, which is no good. I need to make some things called slippers from a non-ferrous material, but I'm not going to do this yet because I will have to use some gaskets to level up the crosshead guide bar, and then make probably 4 slippers, one at the top and one at the bottom of the crosshead. Progress has been made. The next thing to do is to work on the steam chests. Make new non-ferrous drive blocks for the valves inside, then make and fit a pair of gland covers for each side. I'll do these jobs shortly, but not in the next episode. I already have the footage for that. It's a simple but interesting job. That's it for this episode. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.